Hey mamas, it's Kelsey with Mom's Melanated Milk, and today we're going to talk about pumping and storing your breast milk. It's a lot of reasons why moms decide to pump their milk, whether that be preparing to return to work or school or be away from their baby somehow, or whether that be moms having some sort of nipple trauma, whether that be physical trauma or sexual trauma or emotional trauma surrounding their nipples. It could be for health reasons or even flexibility. They want to include their support persons in breastfeeding. When you should start pumping will vary from mom to mom. It really just depends on the different life circumstances that you're facing. It's recommended that moms do not begin to pump until about 3 or 4 weeks, or even introducing an artificial nipple, whether that be a pacifier or a bottle nipple, to their babies at all until 3 or 4 weeks to avoid nipple confusion. However, that may not always be the case with all moms. Moms who have a premature delivery or a cesarean birth may experience a delay in their letdown. So it's recommended that in that situation that moms take full advantage of the golden hour and the skin-to-skin opportunity. But to stimulate the milk and to stimulate the colostrum coming down, it's recommended that moms do get on the pump, whether that be a manual pump or an electric pump, for 15 minutes minimum every 2 hours, not going more than 4 hours without stimulating the breast. This is very crucial in stimulating that supply and demand so that you can establish a healthy, adequate milk supply for your child. Moms who are pumping in anticipation of being separated from their baby, whether that be going to work or school or any curricular activity that's outside of the home that will separate you from your baby, it is recommended that you pump 3 to 4 weeks before returning to that activity, just to make sure that you have an adequate milk supply stored for your baby. And I just want to rest here and say that an adequate milk supply for you being 1 day away from your baby is about 20 ounces, 16 to 20 ounces of milk. So don't get caught up in the narrative that you have to have a freezer full of milk to return to your everyday, day-to-day living. You just need to pretty much calculate, and that's an average. You really want to calculate exactly how much your baby is eating each feeding and how many feedings you will be away from your baby. And then I also like to leave a little extra in case accidents happen, spilled milk, baby, cluster feeds, anything. It is also recommended that if you are pumping to build a freezer supply for your baby, that you pump after your baby's feeding. This way you are kind of increasing your milk supply and you are storing the surplus of milk instead of taking away from the milk that your body has supplied on demand of your baby. Let's talk a little bit about milk storage guidelines. So milk is safely stored at room temperature for up to 4 hours. Milk is safe to store in the refrigerator for up to 4 days. Breast milk is safe to store in the freezer for up to 6 months. You can store breast milk in a deep freezer, which is under 4 degrees Fahrenheit. So if your freezer gets below 4 degrees Fahrenheit, then you can store your breast milk in that freezer for up to 1 year or 12 months. If you have any additional questions about pumping and storing your milk, I definitely recommend that you download my digital comprehensive breastfeeding guide, Mom Melanated Milk. It goes way more in depth about milk storage guidelines as well as guidelines as pertaining to pumping, returning to work, the frequency. It even gives you a schedule on when exactly to pump. Definitely do that. And if you still have any questions after that, make sure you check out my website and go ahead and book me as your breastfeeding peer counselor, and I will definitely be honored to just be a part of your breastfeeding journey with you. I will see you guys in my next video, mamas, and like always, it's a pleasure.